Welcome back to Programming Learning with Xhanki. Today we're going to cover some for loops in Python, so let's get started. The basic key idea for a for loop is to iterate through a list of items and run a piece of code over each of them in a list or an array. So let's get into some examples. Okay, let's open our Python interpreter as usual and let's get coding. So for our first example, we have for I in the list 1, 2, 3, we want to print I as each time we pass through the list. So let's get that code in, and what do you think we're going to see here? Okay, we see the code pass through the for loop 3 times for each element, and we'll print at each time we'll print out the value of the element, so we get 1, 2, 3. For the second example, we're going to change it up a little bit. So we've got for I in 12, 3, 5, 7. We're also going to print I each time. This is basically the same code as the first example. It's just slightly different values in the list, and again we see the same result. It prints 2, 3, 5, 7. Let's start doing something with another variable so that we can start doing something a bit more interesting with each of the values as we go through the for loop. So we've got a sum there, and we've got for I in 12 and 3, 1, 2, 3, we will add basically the value of I to the sum. As you can see, we've had a spelling mistake here. We've got a syntax error, and because we've missed out the colon. The colon's really important for the for statement. So that tells the Python interpreter where the code you want to run starts, and where the list and the main code body of the for statement starts. So as you can see, we've fixed that error. And now we print sum, and what we've done there is we've gone through the loop 3 times and we've added a number to it each time. So we've ended up with a number of 6, and that is the value which is stored in sum. Okay, another example. Sum is 0, and we're going to have for I in 2, 4, 6. We're going to add the value of I to the sum each time we go through the loop, and then we're going to print sum at the end. This example again is very similar to the first one, just different values in the list. And as you can see, we've got what we expected, which is each of those items in the list added up, and so we've got a value of 12. Let's do something a bit more interesting. Let's create a sum of scores and try and work out an average and print that. So let's start with setting sum to 0, and then we've got an array or a list which has the values 40, 55, 60, 80 and 65 in it. Now for each of those items in the score list, we're going to add the score to the value. We're going to add I to the value of sum, so that the sum at the end of that loop should be the total of all of the items in the list. Now because the list has 5 items in it, we're going to create an average here, and we're going to work out so the variable AVE, average, will be the sum divided by 5, and then we're going to print out the average. So let's see what we get. So as you can see, this is one of the useful applications of a for loop. The loop doesn't keep going, it only goes as far as the end of the list is. So there we go. So when we print the average, we get a value of 60, which is the average of those 5 numbers. Okay, so today we learned for loops. Did you understand how the for loop works and what the conditions are for finishing it? If not, please add some comments below. Ask us questions. We're always happy to answer them. And that's all for today. So Let us know how you went anyway in the comments below. Like, subscribe and ring the bell if you'd like to see more content like this. And as always, thanks for watching and see you in the next one.